My hair is as flat as a pancake today. It's not having it. It's tired. My makeup collection was actually something in my eyeball. Gotcha. Great, now I'm crying. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far, and welcome to today's video, which is going to be my 20 product curated small ditty collection if I was not a YouTuber. These are the 20 products that I would recommend owning if you're trying to cut down, have a really small, nice curated collection with just amazing essentials. Without further ado, let's get started. So this video is actually in collaboration with my beautiful friend Sophia from Sophia Sees Beauty. She is an absolute delight and a joy. If you do not know Sophia, you should get to know Sophia, and I'm sure you're going to know her. She's only started her channel like a year ago. She's already at 12,000 subscribers, which is amazing. Way faster than I grew, let me tell you. So she is definitely headed for big things on YouTube, I would predict. She is absolutely a joy to watch. She has a lot of luxury makeup and beauty reviews, and she uploads very often, almost every day. Okay, she's very hardworking. She's very good at what she does. She also not only does makeup, but also like luxury items, bags, hauls, things like that, and like lifestyle items. So if you are into luxury in any category, definitely check Sophia out. So this video was Sophia's idea. I won't take any credit. She came up with this idea of sharing like a less than 20 products. I've had to round it up to 20. You know that I would have to do that, right? So if we did not have YouTube, if we weren't doing beauty and makeup reviews, this is what we kind of feel would be like a reasonable number of products to have for your average person. So I have really picked like the best of the best products, but also ones that I feel like are versatile, lots of situations for lots of different events, lots of different occasions, but would cover kind of all of the bases that I need in just 20 products. It was tricky, okay? I've suffered terribly. But you know, although I've now started my YouTube channel, and obviously my makeup collection just grows and grows and grows as I review as many products as possible, I actually would say that my collection before I started YouTube, pre-YouTube, was way smaller than even this, okay? So yeah, this was actually a pretty generous number of products, I would say. So I'm kind of going in order of the way I do my makeup, and we're starting with primer. One primer to rule them all, some would say. Gollum, perhaps. Of course, the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Primer. It's my favourite primer. There's not an occasion or a situation that this wouldn't work for. I feel like if you were going to have a really curated, small, precise little collection, you just want to pick the best primer that you've ever found that really works beautifully for your skin, that goes with every foundation that you use, and this is it for me. It gives me a beautiful, smooth, refined canvas. Makeup foundation goes beautifully on top of it. It doesn't argue with foundations, it doesn't argue with skincare either. I don't need to leave a long gap between skincare and makeup, which most people, when you're getting ready on a daily basis, you don't have 20 minutes to let your skincare soak in. So this is a really foolproof addition to anyone's makeup collection. It just works for me every single day I do my makeup. So I would only need one primer. I only really use one now, even though I've tried so many. So one primer, and it's this one. Now for foundations, I went for like 2.5. Okay, now I kind of rotate like 8, maybe even more foundations in my current situation. But I feel like if I was going to have a smaller collection, I wasn't a YouTuber, these 2 foundations, I feel like between them, cover every event, every occasion, every type of day that I might have. Starting with the Tom Ford shade Illuminate. Of course this was going to be in here. If I had to like cut down my collection to 5 products, this would be one of the 5. It's my favorite foundation. It's glorious. It gives me just the most beautiful finish to the skin. It's so skin-like and luminous and fresh and healthy and smooth. It's just everything I look for in a foundation, and it also wears incredibly well for a luminous foundation, so I don't have to worry about it fading. I could wear this every day. I could wear this on the school run, I could wear it running errands, I could wear it to the office, to work, whatever. This is going to be a perfect like everyday foundation for me. The one occasion where this won't really work is evenings. Any kind of parties, nights out, any kind of wedding, anything like that, where there's going to be photography, because it has 50 SPF in it. It's in very grave danger of giving you bounce back, white cast, flashback. So I would then enter with the Hourglass foundation. This is the Soft Glow foundation, the foundation I have on my face today, as it turns out. This is going to be like my go-to for every other occasion that this one isn't working for. Any events, any evenings, anytime there might be photography, I don't want to be quite as glowy and luminous, and I don't want any SPF, and this is perfect. It has a higher coverage. The Tom Ford is very much like a medium, a light medium, and the Hourglass is going to give you full beat, full glam. So if I want to go all out, I'm going out. People might take photos using a flash. This is the one that's going to cover all of those bases. So I feel like for foundation, real foundation, these two are going to cover me for every one of life's journeys. But I said 2.5, and the half is the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Tint. Is her correct name according to the bottle. I don't know what anything is called. So the reason I've given this like a half is because I wouldn't really call this a foundation. It's very, very thin and sheer and watery. It's not going to give you coverage. It's one for like a no makeup day, no makeup. You just want a little bit of something to kind of tone down redness, even out skin tone, balance everything. This for me is absolutely perfect for those days when I don't want to do much. And because it doesn't have much colour, I can use this in summer and in winter and not have to worry that it's too light or too dark, because it just doesn't have enough pigmentation to kind of show colour and show difference in skin tone. It just tones everything down, evens everything out, gives me a gorgeous healthy glow to the skin, but without looking like I've put foundation on and then having to balance it with concealer and bronzer and all of that. I can literally use this, some mascara and maybe a tinted lip balm, and that's going to be perfect for those days when I'm in a rush, I'm in a hurry, I don't want to do too much, I just want to kind of tidy myself up. That's when this one comes into play. And I've been using it a lot, as you can probably see that little lift. It's heading towards the second floor. So concealer, much like primer, if I was having a very small collection, being very concise with the number of products I wanted to keep as far as makeup's concerned, there would only be the need for one concealer. I would find my favorite and just use that one. Again, I pretty much do this anyway. It's the Huda Beauty concealer. My current holy grail concealer. It gives me absolute full coverage in a very flattering, smooth, refined way, with no creasing, no settling, and no disappearing throughout the day. It's my favorite concealer. They have great shades, great undertones for what I like. It's actually a really nice price point also, but lasts a long time. It's pleasant to apply with a nice soft doe foot that you can be quite precise with. I love everything about this concealer. I wouldn't need another. One would be absolutely fine. And like I said, I use this 99% of the time now anyway, even with the like 20 concealers that I own. So, you know, why change anything? Same thing when it comes to powder. I mean, look at the state of this one. If this doesn't tell you how I feel about this powder, nothing will. This is of course the Pat McGrath powder. Cannot do my makeup without it. Again, when it comes to powder, find your favorite. No need to have like 5 different powders, in my opinion. Find your favorite, find the one that works the best for you. By a mile, it's this one for me. I don't powder my whole face. I only ever powder like my concealer, set my concealer, and this is just perfect. Very smoothing, blurring under the eyes, sets everything in place without adding, like without aging you, without anything looking heavy or drying you out. Couldn't be without it. Always going to be in my top 20. A very boring product, but one like I feel is necessary, and it's a setting spray. The Charlotte Tilbury setting spray made me a setting spray girl. I would never use setting spray. I didn't use finishing spray. I didn't use any kind of spray. Okay, didn't feel like they were necessary. It felt like a lot of them didn't really do anything until I met this one, and she is amazing. It 100% keeps my makeup looking fresher for longer on my face, not fading away. If I know I'm going to be out and about and my makeup is going to need to like at least look half decent for like more than 8 hours, this goes on my skin every time. If I know the conditions are going to be challenging, it's very hot or it's rainy, or I'm going just, you know, hardcore from heat to cold, like at the moment where everywhere we go is heated and everywhere outside is freezing, and it might also be raining and it might also be snowing. This is coming out to play, okay? It's the only thing that's going to help me survive. Now, for bronzer, I can understand wanting and using more than one bronzer on a day-to-day basis, because sometimes you want a more luminous bronzer, sometimes you want a matte bronzer, sometimes you might feel like using a warmer bronzer, sometimes you might want a cooler bronzer. But for me, I barely use another bronzer other than the Victoria Beckham Duo. This is still my absolute favourite. It has been for quite a while now, and you get 2 shades, one a bit cooler, one a bit warmer, so it kind of tickles all of my pickles in one. I can use this for a bit of contour. I can use this on the eyes if I'm doing a very quick minimal eyeshadow look. It's very versatile. I can use this summer and winter. This is shade 3. I tend to use 4 in the summer, but I could certainly use 3 in the summer. And it just does everything I want it to do. I absolutely feel like I could get by with only the one bronzer. Now, when it comes to cheek products, I am a cheeky girl. Not the hot pant wearing type, but I love the cheek products. I can't get enough. Blushes and highlighters and palettes and face palettes. Oh my. Yes, please, please. Very hard for me to kind of pick a few. I've got four different cheek products. I only gave myself one bronzer, but when it comes to like highlights and blush, trying to like have one, absolutely not. Could never do it. And I won't apologise. So of course I had to include the Pat McGrath Divine Rose highlighter, especially as one of my Instagram lovely friends has found this in stock. So you can actually still buy this. We found somewhere, hopefully it's still in stock by the time this video goes up. If not, it's only us that's been buying it all, okay? Because no one apparently realised it was still in stock somewhere. But yeah, this is one highlighter to rule them all. It's going to give me like a bit of luminosity, or it can be built up if I want to wear this on an evening or an event. It's just going to be very, very versatile in that way. I can wear this every single day of my life, and it's the perfect type of highlighter that I love. Very smooth, very easy to melt into the skin, and just the perfect amount of glow and luminosity in a very smooth, natural way. Exactly what I look for. Perfect colour on my skin tone, and really usable summer and winter also. So that one would have to absolutely go into my 20. I then only have one single blush, which is Chanel's Alezane. This is the blush I'm wearing today, and this is just like my perfect everyday kind of go-to blush. A very natural cheek colour, very buildable. So again, I can wear this on a very natural day where it's just a hint of something like today, but it's going to give me a lot of very smooth luminosity and glow to the cheeks, because it's a very beautiful, luminous, glowy bronzer, but no shimmer, no sparkle. So this is going to give me glowy goddess skin. Summer and winter, I can build this up to, you know, a really rich, deep bronzy look, or I can use it lightly like I have today. So it's going to work on my skin tone in summer or in winter, but it's also going to be very versatile for occasions. If I'm just feeling like I just want a hint of blush, very natural, it's going to work. If I want to go all in bronzy goddess in summer, it's also going to work. Really, really stunning. Has become like my favorite blush ever. And now, to kind of slightly cheat, I've included 2 face or cheek palettes. If I can open this first one. Hurrah, she's in. This is the Nars Orgasm on the Beach. Now, I'm not sure if you can get this one still, but whichever, I mean, these come out at least like twice a year, these Nars cheek palettes, and they are ideal if you want a smaller collection, because there are 6 products in here, 6 blush slash highlighters depending on your skin tone, but it's going to cover all bases, and in just one product that's, you know, small and doesn't take up a lot of space and quite easy to travel with, and a big mirror, it's going to give you a lot of options in here. This one, I chose this one because I think this is my favorite, just because of the colors. You can see these are really the blush colors that I live for, and there's also a great range of like depths in here. So again, in winter when I'm fairer, we've got some lovely peachy and pink tones, and in summer we've got some more depth and richness to those blushes. This one as well has got a bit of a bronzy vibe to it, so again it ticks that box. And then you've got a couple of really beautiful highlighters that are a bit more high shine than the Pat McGrath that I chose. So again, we've got some options in there and some versatility. A really great item to have if you want to have a smaller collection, less items, take up less space. This blush palette from Nars, these blush palettes from Nars are such great quality, and they really are going to give you a lot of options in just one small handy little palette. I love it. I love a cheek palette. And I have included a second cheek palette for all of these same reasons, and it is the Hourglass Tiger palette. I think this is currently sold out. Hopefully it will be back. I highly suspect, I don't just suspect it, I highly suspect. Some of the wording in the like promos about the holiday collection this year definitely seemed to be hinting that these were going to be around, or that these were going to be permanent, because they kept on referring to it as limited edition packaging. Not limited edition palettes, but limited edition packaging. So I wonder if these palettes will eventually be back in like the mirrored gold, like the classic Hourglass packaging. That's my guess. Hopefully it comes true. This is such an amazing cheek palette, and the fact that also for my skin tone, this is a bronzer. I have everything I need in here, like a full face. Give me foundation, concealer in this and I'm good to go. I can even use these shades on the eye and it's perfect, everything I need. You've got, you know, a really metallic highlighter as well as a very soft natural one. I've got a bronzer or a crease shade, and I've got multiple blush options with like a variance in the finish as well. I've got a more shimmery blush, I've got one that's a bit more luminous, and a beautiful range of color options that again are going to work summer and winter on my skin tone. It's just such a perfect product to include if you want to keep your collection a bit smaller. You could literally have this and you don't need a bronzer, you don't need a blush, you don't need a highlight. This is going to give you a few options. You could just use this every day and you've still got a variety to choose from. I absolutely love this. This is one of my first, not this one, but whatever one came out that year, one of my first kind of luxury items that I really fell in love with when I discovered like luxury makeup and started really getting interested in it. It was one of my favorite discoveries because I just felt like it was so, you know, at that time, again, my collection was very small and I felt like, oh, I just can have this and I don't really need any other blushes, bronzers, highlighters. It's going to be so beautiful. Again, very versatile. Any day of the year, any occasion, you've kind of got something to choose from in here. Very travel friendly as well. Really brilliant product if you are wanting a smaller collection. Ticks a lot of boxes, you know. So when it came to eyeshadow palettes, the number I felt like was going to cover all my bases was 2. Okay, I'm pretty proud of that. I'm not going to lie to you. 2 eyeshadow palettes, and I don't even feel like I'm missing anything. That's how amazing these 2 eyeshadow palettes are. I feel like they would give me everything I want and need every day of the year, and I would not be feeling like I was missing anything. First up, it's Natasha Denona's Biba. Of course, I would need like a kind of every single day basics palette. I am a neutral, basic, boring makeup lover, and this is like the ultimate boring, basic, neutral eyeshadow palette there has ever been. The quality, the choice, the variation in here is absolute perfection. Never been beaten, still undefeated champion of the world in my book. You've got the most subtle, soft transition shades. You've got some lid pops, some beautiful shimmers in here. You've got some cool tones. You've got warm tones. You've got bronzier shades. You've got shades for summer, shades for winter. These two shimmers pretty much do everything I want them to do and more. This bottom rose kind of covering all of the bases when it comes to wanting something a bit smokier, a bit cooler, a bit more vampy. Everyday shades are covered 100 times over. This is gonna also be a really good companion palette to the other palette that I chose to include. I mean, again, if I had to keep like 5 or 6 products and that was all I had space for, this would still be in there. It's such an amazing like essentials palette. So we've got like everyday, natural, neutral, understated makeup covered. What we need is a party palette. A palette for when I'm feeling like a bit of fun, doing a bit more glam, a bit more wow. You already know it's going to be Mothership X. Just look at her. I just caught her eye in the viewfinder and my heart beat a few beats faster, okay? It just gives me so much joy, this palette. This is the eyeshadow palette I have on today. I've never done my makeup with this, without this palette and thought, underwhelming, not in love. Every time I use this eyeshadow palette, I absolutely love how my eyeshadow comes out. It's just me in a palette. It can also do everyday soft, subtle, very easily. You know, you've got a few different mattes to choose from that can be used beautifully, subtly and blend out like a dream. And then you've got a few more subtle shimmers that you could use, or you can just go all matte, whatever you want. But you also have the option to dial things up to a 100 like that in here. It's just about as neutral as Pat McGrath has given us to date, and very, very me. I just love using this palette. I have to fight the urge to use anything else on a daily basis. And this is a perfect companion palette with Biba as well, if I want to do an everyday but dial up the shimmer, if I want some more transitional shades. These two will work together very beautifully. Very yin and yang, very, very night and day, very light in shade between the two. But that's like what I think you want and need. If you're trying to keep your collection quite small, you kind of want like an everyday, basics, boring, go-to, easy, one and done type of palette, and then a party palette. I feel like that kind of covers all of your bases. Product I didn't see myself including, but in the last few weeks has really become like an essential every time I do my makeup. It's this Charlotte Tilbury Waterline Liner. This is the Rock and Kohl eye pencil in Eye Cheat. This is my lower lash line brightening shade. It's like a cream, and I have just, I don't know if you can even see it, it's just slightly lighter than my hand. It's the perfect waterline brightening shade for me. It's not white, so it's not really stark and just looks like eyeliner. It literally looks like I've got a really bright, awake eye, which I promise you I haven't. Not something I thought was essential enough to take up a spot in this 20 limit collection, but I really have very rarely not been using this recently. I use it every time I do my makeup, so it has to be included. It's also, you know, a quite sort of unassuming product that makes really big difference when you use it. So yeah, it's going in there. Now, when it comes to mascara, again, it's a one mascara to rule them all situation. If you've only got room for 20 products, don't have 3 mascaras because they're just going to dry up anyway. Keep one, keep your favorite, one mascara to rule them all. This is my favorite mascara, my holy grail mascara, and I feel like, one, I can't live without it. I'm obsessed with it. It's just the perfect mascara for me. I like big fat lashes, but I like them to be quite defined and separated. I love that sort of fanned out shape. I also like to be able to use my mascara on top and bottom lashes. I also like to be able to kind of do a more natural fluttery lash as well as big fat lashes, and this can do all of the above. Top lashes, bottom lashes, I can do 3 coats and it look super dramatic but still be clump free and very separated, and still like see my eyeshadow through them. They're not so fat and clumpy that I can't really see my lids, but it can also do a very natural lower lash line without doing too much. It lasts forever and stays good forever for months. I literally use this like every time I do my makeup, and it will last me months without ever drying out, stopping being good, stop performing, starting to flake. It's my holy grail mascara, and I would absolutely be happy with it being the only one in my collection. And now we come to the final 4 products, and they are all lipsticks. 4 lipsticks. This was where I started to struggle. I feel like everywhere else, I felt like, okay, this is a good collection. I can do this. This is fine. When it came to lip products, this was painful, okay? 4 lip products. That was the only spaces. There was nothing I felt like from the products I've covered so far that I could take out to allow for another one. And honestly, if I was going to have only 20 products, a fifth of them being lipsticks, I feel like that's about as many as I could keep. So we did it. We've done it. We've gone for 4. Now, first up, let's talk about the lipstick I have on my lips. This is Charlotte Tilbury's Nude Talk, and it's pretty much become my absolute favorite, like, classic nude. It's absolutely perfect. I love the undertone of it. I find it very flattering. I like to wear it with a liner, but I can also wear it without a liner. In summer, I would definitely need a liner, so maybe that would take me up to 21. But if I was going to have a very small collection, of course I need like a go-to nude. For when I'm just doing a nude look, I would need a basic everyday nude, and this is like my favorite one right now. I also feel like I would want a deeper, richer nude. 1 for summer, 2 just for evenings out where I'm maybe going a bit more bronzy with my makeup. And so I have chosen one of my Dior Addicts, and this is Cannage. A bit richer and deeper, but not as opaque as the Charlotte Tilbury, so a bit more versatile as well. You know, you can apply this just to your bottom lip, smush the lips together, and you're going to get quite a sheer, shiny look. And it's just, yeah, I love these lipsticks so much. I had to include at least one. This is kind of all of my nude needs covered. And next, of course, there was going to be a Lisa Eldridge lipstick. So almost impossible to choose one Lisa Eldridge lipstick, but my favorite currently is Enchantment. And I feel like this offers me something that the other lipsticks in this curation do not. And that is like the power lip. The power lip, when I want to do like basically nothing with the rest of my makeup, I can put this lipstick on and look like I've been in someone's makeup artist chair for like 3 hours, because it just makes everything look so much more done and polished. And it's the ultimate wearable red for me, an everyday red that is wearable to the office on the school run without looking overdone or too much. You're just going to look like the ultimate powerhouse. That is what this gives me. It makes me feel at least 25% more powerful. It goes with everything. It's so flattering. It's not like so bright and red that it will be shouty over blushes or eyeshadow colors. It's just the ultimate wearable red, and it's so beautiful and quite unique. So it had to be included. It just gives me something very different to what I've already got. And finally, the final product, another Dior Addict lipstick that's giving me spring light prettiness, because I feel like I need that. I need, I've got some nudes, I've got a vampy, richer red. I need a pretty, soft, barely there bit of prettiness, So of course we've gone for Dior's Mimirose. Again, very different to what I've already got. If I'm going to have a very minimal lip collection, they've got to all be quite different. I know I've got 2 nudes, but they are different, okay? I feel like these 4 shades have just got everything covered. So we have Charlotte Tilbury Nude Talk, Dior Cannage, Lisa Eldridge Enchantment, and Dior's Mimirose. I feel pretty comfortable that between those 4, I'd find something for every day that I wanted to wear lipstick. So I'm not mad at it. But let me tell you, I wanted to include at least 30 lipsticks in this video. It was very, very hard to get it down to 4. Just including one Lisa Eldridge was extremely painful, but I had to make the choices based on what I felt like. If my collection was 20 pieces, what would I prioritize? And I think the key is having variation, having products be wildly different to each other so that you've kind of got every basis and every mood and every season covered. And I think we did that pretty well. What do you think? Were you shocked, surprised? Would this cover all of your bases for a collection? What do you think? So please go and check out Sophia's video. I wonder how different or similar our picks are. I'm absolutely intrigued to see what she has gone for. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.